Hey dudes and dudettes, this is Paul Acevedo, EastX from Windows Central, here with a quick video look at Super Party Sports Football for Xbox One. This previously appeared on Windows Phone, Windows 8 and 10, Android, and iOS, so it is a mobile game transitioning to consoles, and we'll have to see how well it did. I am going to start the game, and there's a little bug or issue I need to point out. You can see I have to pick my profile in order to continue. That's a standard thing for Xbox One games. I will pick it now. And then look at that. It immediately makes me pick it again, which is not supposed to happen. So yeah, you always have to pick your profile twice when you start out. Seems like it would be a simple bug to fix, and hopefully the developers will do that. This comes from a German developer called Handy Games. They made several mobile games that I really liked, including this one. So it's pretty cool to see them come to Xbox One. To start out with, you pick a team from any number of nations. There's actually 32 different countries. Their stats are all identical, but the actual team members look different and the uniforms look different. So who do we want to be? We'll go with Japan. Then you pick a uniform. To start with, you only have one uniform for each team, but with the gold that you acquire through gameplay, you can purchase additional uniforms, and buying a uniform once unlocks it for all of your teams, so you don't have to worry about buying it multiple times. I've already got a Halloween one and this, I don't know, Danish one, Copenhagen. And there's others over here. Just a total of 8 uniforms. Some of them are serious, some of them are jokey. Sure, I bet that's what it was, Tyler. Verifying my identity. There are 10 sets of levels with 10 levels each, so that's a total of 100 levels available in the Xbox One game. We'll just start out with an easy level real quick. Each level has like a 3-star rating, only it's trophies instead of stars. At the start of a level, you can choose to use the default ball, which is what you'll do almost every time. But then there's 2 additional balls which cost coins to use, although the first use of each is free. Each one gives you a special power-up for the remainder of that turn, basically, that game. Problem is, if you restart the level, or if you fail the level and replay it, then you have to repurchase the power-up, which is lame, because in games like this, it's really easy to miss a shot, especially with a physical controller, and this game's slightly problematic controls. Ah. So you don't just play as one guy, you actually play as the whole team. And your goal is to knock out all of the enemy teams. So you kick the ball into them and kills them, knocks them into pieces, which is pretty fun looking. I like the little cartoonish violence aspect. Just pass the ball back and forth between my teammates. I do not have to collect all the coins if I don't want to. Your 3-star rating is not based on coins collected. So now, after you knock out all of the enemy players, every single one, then you can kick the ball into the goal and you complete the level. So that's all you have to do. Knock out all the enemy players, then get the goal, beat the level. And depending on how much time you have left, you will receive 0 to 3 trophies. That sense of humor really helps the game, because physics puzzlers in general can be pretty boring. So this one makes up for that, firstly by having a really charming art style. I really like the art for what it is. There's some parallax scrolling in the backgrounds and everything. I do wish there were different stadiums, because all the stadiums look alike. They're all at the same time of day. Different times of day would have been a good idea. But it looks really good, and then it has the cartoony stuff. Here's a bully. This enemy takes at least 2 hits to defeat. And if he walks up to you while you have the ball in your possession, he'll kill the player. And that doesn't make you fail the level, but you're bound to fail the level after that. Just picked up a power-up, knockout ball. For the next few seconds, the ball will do extra damage. Oh, and I just remembered, tapping A after you kick the ball makes the ball instantly warp back to your player, which is really handy for when you miss a shot. And even some purposeful shots, you might just want to call the ball back to you. Oops, that didn't go too well. Time ran out. Time is the enemy in this most of all, not just losing a few of your players to bullies or referees. So let's do it again. Every time you retry a level, you have to go through this little scroll through and pick your ball. I wish you could just completely skip it. You could fast forward it a little bit, but I'd rather just completely eliminate it. Ah! So I'm going to pick up this power-up, and this makes the ball do more damage. Knocked out the bully in one hit. And then it even just knocked out the referee. If I had not knocked out the referee, then the ball would... What would it do? The ref would, like, card you if you hit somebody in his field of vision. So his field of vision is something you just have to completely avoid, unless you can knock him out with this powered-up ball. Alright. Beat the level. Go! Nice little cinematic there when you beat the level, of course. Just notice all the people in the background are white. What's up with that? Does it vary depending on what level you're in? I don't know. The images for the level sets you pick kind of give you an idea of what the new gimmick of each level is, because most of the new sets of levels are introducing a new mechanic of some type. Let's go to 4-5. Japan versus Russia. The levels definitely get more elaborate as you go on. This one is really complicated. You got spikes to contend with. Those will destroy the ball if the ball touches it, unless you collect the right power-up to negate that. Now I gotta dial down my strength. And I'd like to talk about the thing that I like least about this game. You know, it's difficult to adapt touch controls to physical controls. Certainly there is some challenge there. Oh, just ran out of time. But the aiming itself is not so bad, you know, you just have to point the arrow the right way you want it to go. It takes a little longer than it would with swipes on a touchscreen. But the hard part is that you aim and adjust strength with the same analog stick, with the left analog stick. And you can also do finer adjustments with the D-pad, but forget about adjusting strength with the D-pad. But the problem is I'll be trying to, like, nudge the aimer in a certain direction, and I'll accidentally increase or decrease my strength. Really hard to get it to just where you want it sometimes. So I would put shot power on the bumpers, then all of a sudden then you wouldn't have to worry about it. You know, you could just tap, 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 and have it ready. Here's a breakable platform. Destroyed the platform and it made the guys fall to their doom. Because, whoa. Okay, now I gotta get the ball down to this dude. Again, not a lot of time, and I am fighting the controls a little bit. I don't think they adjusted the level requirements for consoles, so it definitely leads to some challenging situations. We're just gonna jump to another level real quick. So the easy levels are really fun, especially levels where you don't have to worry about shot power and you can just leave it at max. Then the harder levels, they can be frustrating because you're not just fighting the difficulty, you're fighting the controls. Another thing about the difficulty is that eventually the levels get really, really big, and it may take a lot of trial and error to even figure out what order you're supposed to do everything in. This level doesn't seem too horribly bad, but some of them are a lot bigger. They start to look like platforming levels. Now we have spinning things. Let's see how that affects the ball. Didn't actually end up touching that one. But here I've got to avoid it. There we go. Oh man, this is tough. I gotta try to get the ball up there. Come on, knock it over to the right. Nope, not gonna happen. Maybe dial the strength down. Alright, there it goes. But do we have time? No, we do not. Goalie won't let the ball into the net. All the developer really needs to do is adjust the controls a little bit, and it would be nice if you could buy a power-up for a level and not have to worry about losing it if you restart the level. Like, at least it needs to stay active for the rest of the time that you are playing that level. Yeah, with mobile games coming to console, I think it just depends on how good the mobile game was to begin with. Because there's plenty of really bad mobile games out there, and one of those came to Xbox One. I mean, Spectra, not completely terrible, but still not a good game. Got ported to Xbox One, it wasn't worth it, you know? But if you have a pretty good mobile game like this one, then it's a whole different story, because, yeah, some people are going to want to play this kind of game on their Xbox Ones. And also, it's worth mentioning that this game only costs $5. So, if you're just looking for... I mean, it's a good kids game for one, because kids are more likely to enjoy this kind of game than adults even. But, you know, it's nice to have some little affordable games like this. The production values aren't amazing, but they are certainly good enough. And it's got a lot of levels. It actually will take you many hours if you're playing through it without any help from guides. Ah, there we go. Sorry I keep failing the levels, but it's difficult to play quickly while talking. So if you like this kind of game, or if you're just looking for an affordable game, then I actually do recommend it, and especially after it gets patched. Hopefully that happens. Achievement-wise, it is pretty tough. Once somebody makes video guides for all the levels, which hasn't happened yet, then it wouldn't be so bad, because you could just look up a guide whenever you're stuck. For now, I've mostly been having to go without guides, so just having to fight my way through the levels, but I am halfway through the game, and I had a good time with it. Please be sure to read our full review at windowscentral.com. Leave a comment, we always like that. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Have a merry holiday season, and whatever you do, don't hate, appreciate.